What's up, guys? Chris here from Chrissy's Fishies, back with another video. This video I want to go over a question that was asked by you guys again. I'm going to kind of simplify that question. Basically, what are maybe some of the easiest fish for beginners for a fish tank? So I'm going to try to keep this kind of simple and just go through a small list. Not so much detail on the fish. There's plenty of other videos out there that have more detail on specific for fish. So that, and then these fish that I'm kind of listing are going to be what I think is kind of like the most hardiest as far as being a beginner. Maybe your tank isn't, I don't know, I wouldn't say as clean as it should be, but maybe the water parameters are constantly fluctuating until you get things settled. That these fish, I think, tend to do just better. So I'm going to start this list. Oh, and one more thing. This list is in no order, so I'm just kind of throw the fish out there. I'm going to again go over what I have and maybe add just a few more to that list. So I'm going to start off with some fish that I have upstairs in a smaller tank. This fish might be, in my opinion, one of the hardiest fish out there, even though there's a bunch, and people could argue with me, and that's fine, but I just feel like, well, I'm just going to start it off. Goldfish. Whether it be what they call either common goldfish or the Comet goldfish, which is most commonly sold as a feeder fish at your local pet shop. Again, I don't have them in here. I just feel like the goldfish, even though it's highly recommended, even for this 55-gallon tank that I probably only have 2 goldfish in, they do need a large area to swim. It's better to have them maybe out in a large pond. They are related to the carp, so they can get rather large. But Comet or common goldfish. Next, upstairs in my tank, and this kind of stretches out a little bit. I have the black skirt tetra upstairs in that tank. Just another common community fish that I feel like one goes well with other fish, and two, they're just pretty hardy. Alongside the black skirt tetra, one that I have in my tank, there's a couple swimming around right here, is the neon tetra. Same thing. They're just a hardy fish. These do better in schools. I think I have 5 of them in here, even though there's only 2 here, and I always see like 2 or 3 back in this corner over here. But those tetras do pretty well. There are quite a few other tetras that I would put on that list that I don't have. Maybe the Cardinal tetra. There's like, they call it a headlight and a taillight tetra. Pretty hardy fish. Next on my list, fish that I have here are guppies. There's a female guppy here. She's pregnant. I don't know that you'll see them. He might come out here eventually, but I have a male guppy. I think they're really pretty fish too. There's a couple, obviously there's this one here, pretty plain and yellow, but my male guppy, I don't know exactly what kind of guppy he is, some sort of blue, I don't know if it's a panda. He's not coming out in the open, but I'll try to snap a picture of him and put him on here as I'm describing them. But guppies, they can overpopulate pretty quick, especially if your tank is doing pretty well. I have a few babies swimming around. You might be able to see them. There's one little guy there. 2 or 3 usually hang out in this area below the guppy grass. But guppies, I think they're pretty resilient to some beginner mistakes if you guys are a beginner and you're watching this video. Move on to another fish I have. I just recently added to my tank. I made a video about that probably 2 weeks ago. There's a guy right here, the zebra danio. They are, I don't know, they're pretty cool looking. I like this guy here. He's got it looks like it's like a silver and black. and then the black is mixed with a little bit of blue. Ooh. Here I'm saying they're pretty friendly, but this guy here just chased one of my neon tetras. But nonetheless, they are they're pretty hardy fish, and I think they're a nice beginner fish. Another one on my list, there's one of them tied back here in the corner, is Molly. All right, I have 2 black mollies in here. I know I keep repeating myself, but they're just I don't know, they're an easy hardy fish as long as you got a somewhat established fish tank. They seem to do pretty well. Along with the mollies, another one I'd add to the list, pretty similar, is the Platy. Whether you do a red wag Platy, there's tons of Platies out there. Red wag Platy, there's sunburst Platy, some of the most common ones at my local fish store. They're both live bearers between the mollies and the Platies. Well, same thing with the Guppies, but I don't know. They're just they're easy fish. And the only other fish I have in my tank, I just saw him swimming around. I would also add to the list whether you do a bristlenose pleco or just your standard Plecostomus pleco. I don't know. I think they're pretty easy too. You can see, you know, I don't regularly clean my fish tank, but my pleco in here seems to be doing okay. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's back here. You probably can't see him. He's right on the side of my glass there. Maybe you can see him in my reflection in my mirror there. But anyway, they seem to be pretty easy to take care of. One thing I want to add is it's common to lose fish, guys. It's going to happen. All right. One thing I would say is, and I don't do it, when you get fish from a local pet store, obviously you do the normal, you set the bag in the water, let the water temperatures change. But I feel like fish stores, big fish stores, I'm not going to throw out any names, but they tend to get their fish, I feel like, from probably breeders that overbreed. So, not that their fish are unhealthy, but I feel like overbreeding tends to have, what's the word I'm looking for? Not infections. Jeez, I'll think of it here in a second. But I just feel like when you overbreed, you tend to have issues with problem with parasites. Something I don't do is I don't treat them. I probably should, because I feel like the fish that I lose, my tank is doing pretty well with plants. It's pretty heavily planted, as you can see. But the fish that I've lost, I feel like it was due to probably parasites, and I've never treated for it. So anytime you get new fish, you add them to your tank, I suggest that you separate them in a smaller tank and maybe treat them for parasites for about a week before adding them to your tank. But yeah, so just be aware that a beginner tank, you're going to lose fish. Some other fish that I would add to that, because that covers all the fish that I have in here. I would probably, I did do my zebra danios, yeah. Cory Dors, Cory catfish. They're small fish. They're bottom feeders. I think they're a pretty hardy fish. They kind of go along. I think they work well in a community tank like this. And obviously they clean up the bottom if any food misses, any food travels down, and the other fish doesn't eat it. The Cory catfish, Cory Dors, will clean up the bottom for you a little bit. Another fish I would probably add to that list is Rasboras, whether it's a Chili Rasbora or the Harlequin Rasbora. They're pretty hardy fish. and can do well in a community tank. I think that's about it. Now I'll add one more to the list. There's a few types of barbs out there. Cherry barb is a pretty common one. Between the cherry barb and the chili rasboras, two beautiful red fish. I'm probably going to be adding some of those in my tank if my local fish store picks those up. But that's in a small near future. Other than that, guys, I mean, I feel like that is pretty much it. Try to keep it short and simple. Obviously, if I added any other fish to this list, I'll put it in the description of the video. But I'll take everything that I've said and put it in the description of the video, so you can, I always like to have it written out so you can kind of see it. I think that about covers it. I don't think that was 10, because I probably have, I don't know, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6 different species of fish in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 or 6. 6 different species, and I think I've given you a list of maybe 2 or 3 others. So I wouldn't say that that's 10, but there's my pleco right there. He's cleaning off my wood there for me. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't call it top 10, but that's definitely my list of fish that I feel like are just easy to, I don't want to say take care of, but that do well in a community tank and are pretty hardy. So other than that, guys, I appreciate you tuning in to Chrissy's Fishies. If you have any other questions, I love doing these videos. It's just simple, and yeah, I'll try to answer your questions for you. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care.